Well, hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott, and coming up today on Lifestyles for Women, Beth Sikes joins us. As many of you already know, Beth is from Dalton and is a well-known screen actress, known for Get Low 2009 and most currently the TV series on ABC, Resurrection. Also in today's show, we can feature a way you can exercise your energy as becoming a volunteer in our community. This and much more today on Lifestyles for Women. We'll be right back. Well, hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott and welcome back to Lifestyles for Women. Today we have with us a special guest, and that is Beth Sikes. And Beth, again, thank you so much for being with us today and giving your time to kind of catch up what's going on with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You know, we had you a couple of years ago, and when you were involved with another movie. I
think it was either Get Low or The Way Home. I don't remember which one.
I think it was The Way Home.
It might have been The Way Home.
Right. And most recently, actually, I've been watching you with the series of Resurrection on ABC, Sunday night, actually. And that's been great to kind of see you on that and play the part that you play and know you're from Dalton. I mean, it's so exciting for us here. Tell us a little bit about that particular series. You played the part of
Janine Hale. She is the local pastor's wife in Arcadia, Missouri, and the show is just that, about people being resurrected from the dead. They come back just as they left in whatever decade that it was that they passed. And I am the wife of the local pastor. In the first season, I really was more about his backstory. I think I was just more involved in telling who he was and his involvement in the town and the story that was starting to unravel. And then the second season's been great, as they gave my character a little bit more of her own character arc. She's been a little bit of everything this season. I was kind of surprised with every script. But so we have season finale is this upcoming Sunday at 9 on ABC, and then we will just, I guess, cross fingers for season 3. Again, my character's a reoccurring role, so it's one of those that they kind of can come and go. You never know what might happen with them, and on this show, you know, even if you die, you can come back.
That's right. That's a good thing about this show, isn't it?
So that's one thing. That's the main joke on screen, on set, is that no matter what happens, there's always a possibility.
Right. How long does it usually take you to do one show? Like I know
episode?
They do. Yes, one episode.
We were about 8 days of shooting, and they take the weekends off, just like everybody else does usually on Saturday and Sundays. So it was usually about 5 days, and then it would wrap around to 3 into the next week. So it was about 8 working days that it would take to shoot one episode.
Right. And I think it's so interesting. I know you and I had a little time to visit before we started actually taping this show. The fact that sometimes you do not get your script for that particular episode until an hour or 2, 3 before?
Well, you get it a few days, and sometimes, if you're lucky, a week. But episodic TV definitely is one I've learned that it's definitely a moving beast. It's always trying to figure out where it's going. It's paying attention to the ratings. It's paying attention to what they're liking on screen with the certain actors and the writers as a team, depending on the show. I know for us, there was a lot of storylines that they had in kind of an idea that they were going in the direction that they were going, but they really don't write them till they get closer to time. So they're constantly changing it. So they don't give us, a complete version of it till when we're really close to shooting. And even then, we get alternate versions and changed lines and scenes that have been added or deleted. So it's for their benefit. They give us the best product, and to ours that we don't have so many lines and stories in our heads until it's really ready.
Right.
So but it's a little different than film. Film, the screenplay's there, and there might be some modifications made, but you get the whole picture up front. So it's been a good learning curve for me, because I've not done, I've only done 2 other reoccurring roles, and they only occurred once.
Right.
So this has been a great opportunity for me just to really see how TV works, and it is a whole different world than the film world I've been used to. So.
Right. Now, how do you decide which auditions that you do? Do you get calls, and then do you have an agent? How does all that work in this industry?
The Southeast has a little bit of its own, I guess, mannerisms. We, depending on which agent you're with, most of us we hear from our talent agent first, and they send us out information, and we can accept or decline if it's something we're comfortable or not comfortable with. And then we go back and either submit a tape. We used to go down and audition in person, but now because of technology, I don't drive as much, and most of it I do at home. We submit a tape, and then it goes out into into the stratosphere and the internet land, and it floats around, and you hope someone sees it. And then oftentimes, the more roles you get, then offers can be made to you if you would like this role.
Right.
The Southeast doesn't technically work that way just yet. Most of us are still building and vying for our community to get to that level to where we're offered roles, but it's a little bit different here. We're still building our community really strong, and it's definitely here to stay, as we can see with the industry giving back so much to Georgia. We've had more TV shows filmed in the Southeast in Georgia than anywhere else in the United States this year. So it's been such a great thing for people of my craft and people of your craft, people that love on camera and behind the scenes work. It's just, it's booming.
Right.
So it is a whole process, but depending on your level of involvement in it, it varies on how the auditions work.
Right. I think it's exciting that it is coming more to the Southeast.
Yes.
The movies are, and all. I think that's so exciting for us, and so we look forward to many more other movies. I want to have to take a break here, but when we come back, I want to also talk about some of the movies that you've been in. So,
Sure.
and what you see, and maybe some advice that you can give someone who's actually interested in pursuing a career as well. So,
Absolutely.
All right. So you stay with us. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. Hi, and welcome back again to Lifestyles for Women. If you've just now joined us, we are having a great visit with Lori Beth Sikes, and definitely, Lori Beth, you have really represented our town very well, as well as your own, and you've done such a fabulous job in film and in television series, as we talked a little bit earlier about Resurrection, but a super job, and want to commend you for that, and we're very proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Let's talk about some of the films that you've been in, and tell me a little bit about kind of how that works, how it's different from the television series or episodes.
Sure. We were talking about that in the break. It's very different for me. Just I've done mostly film, and the few television shows I have done, I've never been so involved as I have on this one. So it's been fun for me to see the difference in with the timing of things and how they go out. And we have a different director every episode and a different lead writer on every episode. And so with film, you kind of feel more like a theater group in the sense that you kind of put together this big project and you go present it, and it's a whole picture. And with TV, it really is a segment in time that you're waiting for each time. So it's been an interesting switch for me, for my brain and my craft, to kind of hone in on a character that I have no idea what the big picture is or where she's going. So that's been the difference in it, and I still love film. I love, I guess, as someone who still teaches dance, I love the whole picture. I love seeing the whole piece. So there is something to say for that for me, artistically.
Right. What is the latest film you've been in?
Well, I did a little film that should come out in February. I haven't actually researched as to where it will be a limited release, but called Whitewater, and it's based on a children's book called Whitewater, based on the summer of '63, and this little boy in Opelika, Alabama, and his desire to drink out of the white water fountain. Little African-American little boy, and so it's all about. It's kind of his. It's very similar to in Stand By Me, how Richard Dreyfuss kind of narrated much of the storyline. The real boy who lived that story narrates much of the movie. So I play a very small role in it that at some point should surface, I think, during Black History Month, which would be awesome. So that's it. And then there's lots coming to Georgia that we're putting things on tape,
Right.
auditioning left and right. So we'll see.
Right. And I know you've played and worked side by side with people, Bill Murray and Robert Duvall. I mean, what's it like? Here you are working with or being around, and that has to be really exciting and fun as well.
It is exciting. It's very exciting when you see someone that is no matter what line of work. I think if you admire their work and you get to be around them and watch them work, it's just overwhelmingly cool.
Right.
Just to take a breath and watch that person who's so good at what they do it. I'm not a starstruck person like that. I mean, they're just people, and they're very sweet usually and very kind. And the more people, I think the people that have the more celebrity are the people that are usually the most humble and gracious. That I've worked with, and it's just always so wonderful to just to see them at their best,
Right.
and it's a privilege. I think Robert Redford was probably the one time that I think my jaw would not come off the floor when I was in the same room with him. I'm like, that's the Sundance Kid. Oh my goodness. But otherwise, they're just like anybody else.
Right.
They just want to do what they love to do and do it well.
Yeah, and that was a question I was going to ask you. Through your experience now and working with so many different people and your experience on a film as well as series, television series, episodes. What have you learned, or is there anything that you? And I guess maybe what you just said could be it, that working with those type of people is just really, you find that they're very humbling.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think in general, there's so many things you learned as an artist. For me, it's always that there's just something else I want to do. Oh, I want to try that now, or I'd like to experience this, or this is the one area I haven't gotten to do a lot of comedies. So like that's one of my things right now. I would just love to just get a chance.
That's on your bucket list?
That's my bucket list to do some. I've been in some comedies, but I was in Identity Thief, but my scene was not comedic. I think some of those kind of things are as you grow as in any kind of job, but as a working artist, there's always another pocket of it that I haven't gotten to try or experience. That there's always something in me just ready to go. Let's work for that one.
Yeah,
and that's fun. I think that keeps you young.
Right. And I think it's also fun that you never really know what's out there that's going to come your way, that you're, like you said, I want to try this, or I want to try this. And with the time that you're not involved with making in the movies or television episodes, you're also here in Dalton and you're teaching dance still, right?
Yeah, I'm still at Dance Theater Dalton. I have some little girl jazz classes, and then I'm also the company jazz and contemporary instructor. So it's wonderful, wonderful little place over there. It's our happy place. All of us love it. It's a big old happy family of lots of adorable girls.
That's great. Now, for someone wanting to get in maybe this type of career in their life, maybe what advice would you give them?
Well, it is a step-by-step process. It's not an easy thing to jump headfirst into, but there's a lot of research online that you can read about. There's a lot of acting courses you can take, mostly in the city, but you would need to do headshots and look for talent agents, and they have open calls and information on all their websites. So
just pursue.
You just kind of, you have to do a little research and then and ask someone that might know.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm sorry, our time is up.
That's okay.
I would love to have you back sometime and kind of keep up with you as you continue to pursue your career. And we just are so proud of you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for wanting to talk to me.
Absolutely. And thank you for being with us here on Lifestyles for Women. Until next time, I'm Judy Elliott here with Lori Beth Sikes, and we'll see you next time. Well, thanks for joining us back here on Lifestyles for Women as we continue our show today. Our next guest today is Mickey Burrows, who is the president of the Humane Society of Northwest Georgia. Mickey, it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
And we're going to be talking about a very fun subject, dear to everyone's heart, their pet, because, your pet becomes part of your family.
Correct, yeah.
And I know that the Humane Society does a great job of helping find homes for these precious little pets, but also that also requires volunteers that you need. And what a great way to connect and be a volunteer.
Yeah, we're 100% volunteer based. No one is paid, so all the donations that go to the Humane Society, 100% of every dollar is going to care for the animals. But we do have a lot of animals, and we really need some extra volunteers right now. We house 40 to 50 dogs at a time now, and that's quite a bit more than when we first leased the facility that we're at now. And we have about 15 cats at a time. So we need about 125 volunteers. We have about 65 dedicated volunteers right now.
My goodness. What do you need to do to be a volunteer? I know contact you, but is there an age that...
The age requirements for liability purposes is 12 years old to 15 years old. They can volunteer with a parent on the premises with them. 16 to 17 can volunteer with parents' permission. 18 and older, of course, they can volunteer on their own.
Right. Now, there are many ways that they can help with as a volunteer. Just kind of give me an idea of what would happen if I called and said, Mickey, I want to be a volunteer with the Humane Society. Tell me what I would do.
You can either call us at 706-226-5002, or you can go online at hsnwga.org. Under there's a tab that says Get Involved, and then under that tab is volunteers. You can email the volunteer coordinator directly. You can fill out an online application, volunteer application, and the volunteer coordinator will contact you and see what day and what time of the day that is best for you to volunteer, for your schedule, it fits your schedule.
Right. What are some of the things that they would be helping with?
You can, some of the things we do at the shelter is actually caring for the animals. We, take them out, walk them, of course clean up after them. That's the dirty part of it, but that's part of it that has to be done. We also do play groups where the animals are socialized. They play together in small groups, anywhere from 5 to 10 at a time with the dogs. And then we have medication. We have to feed water and do medication if medication is required. You're just socializing them, making them friendly, and get them ready for adoption so they'll go into a home and be a good pet. And with the cats, we actually clean litter boxes, fresh food, fresh water, and pet them and love on them so that they're friendly.
Unless you have had a pet in your home or have a pet at home somewhere, even inside or out, you really don't know the different, understand the personalities that they have, because they become really just like a person in your family.
Correct. Yeah. Me and my wife, we just lost one of our pets that we'd had for 10 years, and it's very traumatic. But I've heard a lot of people that lose pets, and it is sad, but you get that love and affection from the ones that are left. And a lot of people come in and volunteer. They said that they've got the max at their house. They can't handle it anymore, but they want to help. And so they get their fix by coming to the shelter, and they get to see a lot of different dogs and cats and get to, help them, bring them back to health, make them social. Some of them come in scared to death, and they're able to get them back friendly to where they're trusting humans, and just makes for a good adoption. And not only do the animals benefit, but there's actually the owners that adopt these animals. We recently had a dog that was adopted where the husband at 3 o'clock in the morning had his blood sugar dropped really low, and he was passed out in the living room, and the dog woke the mother or the wife up.
Really?
At 3 o'clock in the morning to go check on him, and she just said that the EMT said that saved the man's life.
Yeah, it's amazing how smart the animals are, and sometimes we may not even realize what personalities and how sweet they are. But as a volunteer, it's a great opportunity, particularly if you think that you might want to go in that direction as a child going into thinking about what they would like to do, maybe be a veterinarian or something like that. It's a great opportunity and shows some responsibility to your child really would enjoy doing as a volunteer.
Yeah. That's true. And there's other ways too. There's events that we do. We have events where throughout the year we have several events that we attend, and we need help with those events. So there's more than just the shelter duty too, but the shelter duty, that's where you get the warm fuzzy feeling, and you get to see the love and everything that the animals get, and you get the satisfaction of when they go home to hear the stories, success stories of the adoptions, And like you said, children, they learn responsibility. And be honest with you, I'm getting old. A lot of us at the Humane Society are getting old. We really need the younger kids to come on board and take over, because you hear in church all the time that the children are the church of the future, you know, and that's the way the Humane Society is, you know, same thing.
Right. Now, again, a telephone number or a way for if you're a parent and you think your child would enjoy being a volunteer, or if you're a volunteer yourself, you want an adult, you can, again, contact.
You can contact us at 706-226-5002 or hsnwga.org on the web, or we're at 1703 Cleveland Highway, and we're open on Saturdays because we are all volunteer. We're only open on Saturdays 12 to 4 to the public, and you're welcome to come by on Saturday 12 to 4.
Great. Mickey, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Judy.
I hope a lot of people will get in contact with you about being a volunteer. Thank you again. Thank you for being with us here on Lifestyles for Women. Until next time, I'm Judy Elliott. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.